What is up, everyone? I'm Rusty, your local laboratory maniac. This is Labman EDH, and I have an interesting video here for you. It's a little different from my other ones. I woke up this morning and saw a really cool spoiler. It's for the Final Fantasy set. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy guy. However, I do like the characters. They are pretty interesting. I played a few of the games. I actually wasn't really knowledgeable about Zenos, who is the card we're looking at here, obviously. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. You got Zenos here. He's a 3 generic, 2 black, legendary creature, human noble warrior. He has an ability called My First Friend. When he enters, you choose a creature an opponent controls. Until the end of turn, creatures other than Xenos and the chosen creature get -2/-2. Then when the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, you transform him. And he transforms into this really cool dragon. So the backside is a legendary creature dragon. It's a flying, and it says, as this creature enters, or sorry, when this creature transforms, choose an opponent. And then when the chosen player loses the game, you win the game, and he's an 8/8. I mean, that's a really flavorful and awesome ability with upside and downside. But before we get into that, I want to read a quote about this character. I like to know a little bit of lore about the cards I play. So here's the quote. Leader of the 12th Legion and Crown Prince of the Garlean Empire, Xenos is possessed of but a single passion to stand on the front lines, blade in hand, and dance with death. He regards friend and foe alike with contempt, and tales of his brutality against both have spread far and wide. So this is a take no prisoners kind of guy. He wants to battle. He wants to fight. You know he's coming for you, and he doesn't care because he wants the challenge. Now, playing this guy, your goal is going to be to play him later in the game. So setting up early game and protecting yourself will be very crucial. If you play him too soon, you'll show your hand and make someone an enemy out of someone. You will be their arch enemy because you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to try to kill you as fast as possible. So you got to deal with me quick. Obviously, an opponent won't kill the opponent you choose because then they'll be handing you the game. So you're kind of also giving that player protection from your other opponents. So keep that in mind as you play this card. And when I first saw this card, my mind actually went to cloning him. But then I was like, that doesn't work because transform cards are a little different. So for example, transforming a card just means flipping it from face up to face down. But the back of the card has to have a face on the back. This is different from flipping a card face down, like Morph, for example. If you copy Xenos with a card like Clone, which is a creature that comes in as a copy of another creature, and you try to transform it, it won't transform because it doesn't have a face card printed on its back. And unfortunately, if you do transform Xenos and you play a clone, you won't be able to get the chosen trigger that he gets when he transforms. So unfortunately, you can't do it. But however, what you can do is copy the triggered ability. When Xenos transforms, a trigger ability occurs saying when he transforms, do XYZ. So you got Lithoform Engine and Stronic Resonator, both copy triggered abilities. So you can choose two opponents. Another thing is obviously you have to get rid of your opponent's creature that you chose in order to transform him. So removal will be very important. I got Deadly Rollick here. It's a 3 generic, 1 black instant. If you can control your commander, you may play this spell without paying its cost. So it's free to cast if you control Xenos. And then you can exile target creature. Now, Xenos says when the creature leaves the battlefield, not when it dies. So that includes exile. And Doomblade, everyone kind of makes fun of it, says it's not a great card. I know it's not the most optimal card. However, you could choose a non-black card, But Doomblade's just been a card I've played since the beginning, so I just kind of love it. It's more about nostalgia. It's a 1 generic, 1 black instant, destroy target non-black creature. So it does a similar job, destroying or exiling, you're getting rid of it. Now, one disadvantage is your opponent needs a creature to kill. Sometimes, and now 98% of the time they'll probably have a creature, but if they don't, someone keeps board wiping, so you can't choose it. You can give them creatures. There's a couple ways to do that. You got Faithful Handoff, which is 3 generic, 1 black sorcery. Draw cards equal to the mana value of a target artifact or creature you control, and opponent gains control of it. And then you have Infernal Offering. It's a 4 generic, 1 black sorcery. Choose an opponent. You and that player sacrifice a creature. Each player who sacrifices a creature this way draws 2 cards. And then choose an opponent, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then each player, and then that player returns a creature card from their graveyard to the battlefield. So I could see some people playing cards like this, or maybe giving your opponents tokens. You don't have to. I don't think it's completely necessary, but it could be quite beneficial. Now, this next slide, when I was thinking, okay, so you transform him, he becomes the dragon, and you choose an opponent closest to losing. Now what? Okay, one of the first thoughts I had was spells that make your opponents lose half their life. So it's almost like burning them, and that could get them closer and closer to losing. So you got Virtus the Veiled, which I've talked about once on my channel. I actually have a deck with this guy and his partner. He's a 2 generic, 1 black legendary creature, Azra Assassin. He partners with Gorm, which you won't have in your deck because it's green. But he has Death Touch, and when he deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up, and he's a 1/1. And then you got Blood Tribute, which is another really good one. It's 4 generic, 2 black sorcery. It's a kicker. You can tap and untap vampire you control, which we do have 1 or 2 in here. And target opponent loses half his or her life, rounded up. And if Blood Tribute was kicked, you gain equal to the life lost. So it's a little life gain. You guys know how I feel about life gain. I really love it. Now, you're going to make people very, very unhappy with doing this. You're going to make them even more unhappy if you play cards like Wound Reflection or Archfiend of Despair, which doubles life loss at the end of the turn. So you got Wound Reflection, which is a 5 generic, 1 black enchantment. At the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life lost that turn. And the Archfiend of Despair does the same thing, but it's a flying demon. Your opponent can't gain life, and it's a 6/6. So they both do similar things. And if you use Blood Tribute, make them lose half their life. With Wound Reflection out, you one-shot kill them. And now another way to one-shot kill them so you win faster is Phage the Untouchable. It's 3 generic, 4 black, legendary creature, avatar minion. When it enters the battlefield, if you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. So watch out for that. I've seen people accidentally lose by bringing Phage back from their graveyard, like with a living death ability, like they didn't have control over it. And then when she deals damage to a creature, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. And when it deals damage to a player, that player loses the game. And then you got many ways to make a creature unblockable, but Rogue's Passage is one of the easiest because it's a land slot. It taps for colors, and you can pay for to make target creature unblockable. Now, another cool thing that you could do, if no one's close to dying in the game yet, everyone's still at 40, you know how those games can be. You can use stuff like Tree of Predation. 3 generic, 1 black. It's a creature plant defender. You can tap it, exchange target opponent's total life total with Tree of Perdition's toughness. So they're at 40 life. The tree has 13 toughness. You tap it. The tree gets 40 toughness, but they get 13 life. And that combos with another card. You don't have to put it in the deck, of course, but it'd be hilarious if you just automatically win with this. It's a Triskaidekaphobia, which is fear of the number 13, by the way. It's 3 generic, 1 black enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one. Each player with exactly 13 life loses the game. Then each player gains 1 life. or each player with exactly 13 life loses the game, and each player loses 1 life. So you tap tree, give someone 13 life. Triskaidekaphobia at your upkeep will kill them if they have the same amount of life. Now, do I think this card is better as a commander or better as 99? Honestly, I think it may be better in the 99 as an alt win con. Cards that say, hey, you win the game are fun and interesting, but they're scary to your opponent. So if you have your command zone, they're really going to focus on on getting rid of it. It's very telegraph play. You could build your deck protecting Zenos here, but I mean that would make it a little more viable. But like I said, they're still going to be targeting it. You got Swiftfoot Boots that makes it hexproof and haste. Then you got Commander's Plate that gives it protection and +3/+3. However, those aren't always good because they might board wipe, for example, which hexproof and protection doesn't help with. So you will definitely become someone's enemy, and they'll definitely be eyeing you. That's why you got to play your commander later in the game when you're closer to victory, because you don't want to play him, wait 5 turns, and hope for the best, because it may not pan out that way. Now, one deck I want to put him in is the Virtus deck that I mentioned earlier. I like this deck has every single card that has someone's life in it. Then it has cards in it to basically let Virtus the Veiled get in for damage. That way I half their life. So it's a really fast, aggressive deck. And I think it'd be perfect for Zenos to join that deck because that lets me focus on only one player instead of all 3 opponents. So that is one place that you could put it. Now, if you're planning to build around this or add it to the 99, what deck do you think you are going to add that to? Comment down below. If you found this video kind of interesting or helpful in any way, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know what you think about the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.